Questions, most of the time I see people going to the right place and asking questions in questions. And I'm like, yes, start there. And then you may find yourself needing to go to support for some specific thing that we need to solve. But a lot of time GitLab questions are actually something that some other group is actually better to answer. And that's really, really awesome. So consider questions first, and then that's a great spot. And a lot of us lurk there also. So.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Okay. I wanted to just also kind of dig a little bit into, sometimes I see support and IT getting confused, and maybe there's some clarity you wanted to offer there.
Yeah, that's a great point. That's on the first slide. There's a little note for people new to GitLab. What does the support team do? And perhaps we could be more explicit and call ourselves the customer support team. So yeah, we mainly look after paying customers for GitLab. And then internally, yes, GitLab has the IT help as well. So if you're looking for support for your laptop or equipment, then there's the applications we use at GitLab as team members, then going to them. So yeah, we look after customers. And interestingly, something that might be worth covering is that we mainly look after customers on paid plans. Customers on the free plan or starter have the community forum, and our community relations team spend quite a bit of time on the forum helping answer questions there, and the community helps them. The support team actively helps customers with a paid plan, and then they get service level agreements that we meet to achieve those.
Sorry, I just want to jump in. Tom, you said that Starter has community, but actually Starter is a paid plan, so we do support Starter customers. It's our GitLab core and CE users that have community support, and our free users on GitLab.com.
Any other support people?
My brain is still full of cold. Does that help answer your question, Jamie?
Yeah, that's great. Thank you. I also have the next question. Is there anything that my team can do to support your transition to the new Zendesk? And I see that Jason answered a little bit. I'd be happy to help test if that's.
Yeah, we're definitely going to need help testing, especially in the sandbox environment. It's a very big change, especially since it's not like an upgrade as you would normally expect. It's basically, here's a new integration. You have zero choice, but you have to use it. So a lot of testing is going to be needed, especially once we get that integration set up in the sandbox, just to ensure that when we go live on the 28th to do that changeover, it's as smooth as possible, especially since Zendesk is auto-killing the current integration with Salesforce. On the 30th, it'll be auto-removed. It will not work anymore. So there's kind of not like a rollback because, yeah, it's happening whether we're ready or not. So I expect I'll probably need help with some testing. I know Lise has definitely offered to help me out with that, and I appreciate that to no end.
Next person is Sid.
Yeah, so I saw that the self-managed SLA in December was above 95% for all company sizes. And that's really impressive. So well done there. It's super hard to get that in December, although the volume is low. There's also a lot of people off. So congrats. Darwin?
Yeah, I was just wondering if there's a possibility of doing supportability reviews for customers who want to qualify their plans to deploy GitLab. We don't have the implementation patterns for all of the different ways of deploying GitLab. So we have some customers asking questions around that.
The short answer is yes. Normally, if the customer is willing to send in a ticket and kind of be like, this is what we're planning, we're more than willing to kind of look at it and say, here's some pitfalls, here's what might not be supportable. We're always willing to do that because in the end, it helps us out way more. It helps us out a lot. So we are very happy to kind of look over what they're planning and, give them advice, give them feedback, let them know some pitfalls.
Cool. And so where would I submit that ticket? It's for pre-sales, so where do I submit it on behalf of the customer?
You can just have them either use the support contact form or support@gitlab.com. It'll come in as like a needs order triage kind of thing, and you can kind of let us know this is a prospect, they're looking to build or whatever it is, and we'll apply the appropriate tags and
Awesome.
handle it from there.
Thank you.
So I have the next.
Sorry.
I have the next one. No problem. Support satisfaction is at 91% instead of our goal of 95%. I wonder, like, how much of that shortfall is because of our licensing automation not working as good as it can be? Is that getting better already, or are we not seeing movement yet? And are we able to keep up with the licensing volume, like the number of people emailing about that?
Yeah, thanks, Sid. That slide, as far as I'm aware, is actually excluding the licensing information. So it's for .com and self-managed tickets. So it's not where we want it to be, and we want to make it better. There's a couple of links on there to a project and a process where we gather all of the feedback that comes in through Zendesk survey results, and we're analyzing that. We have a manager on rotation each week who goes through all of the the good ones to give good feedback to the team, but also especially the negative ones. And we respond to customers, but we're also doing some analysis on that to say, are there trends in why we have bad satisfaction? Is it related to the product, or is it related to our performance as a support team? So we don't have data on that as of now, but that project is gathering that, and we expect to be able to say more about that in the future. On the licensing piece, there's a slide in there, slide 5, which is about just acknowledging the work, particularly that Amanda has done there, but the whole team really, in terms of working on that, working with the other teams on that, and really getting on top of it. She's currently trained, as a link, she's currently training a person in EMEA and another support person in APAC to share that load out. So I spoke to my team member, Donique, today, who's learning with Amanda, and they feel like they're on top of it, and this is going to be a lot of improvement coming. So we're on top of that. The queue is under control. Seems like the processes are really well in place now. So we expect licensing to be less of a problem than it has been. So really, really grateful to Amanda for all her work there.
Yeah, we have made a specific process that support will start using for that. Amanda's making a boot camp so we can kind of get everyone in support trained up for that. So the idea is to hammer that out so that it's clear, concise, and no longer a thought on the forefront of our brain, just kind of something we're handling as it comes in.
Thanks.
It seems like the report does include licensing, Tom, just looking at the link that you posted in the notes. But removing licensing doesn't improve it that much. It just goes up by 0.5%.
I will, I'll share my screen really quickly here. I just pulled the data from Zendesk. So you can see this December, our lowest was security related issues, the CSAT scores. And we do see an improvement in license and renewals, Sid. So to directly answer your question, a large improvement there. In December, security issue was the one that generated or had worse satisfaction score. But again, this is percentage based. So I don't know, there could have only been like 10 security ones, but one of them, XYZ, was bad. Yeah, so just to give you a quick answer, and we can dive deeper.
Cool, but cool to see the improvement. Like we kind of doubled the satisfaction, or we kind of doubled the satisfaction in licensing. Not really double, but we halved the unhappy people. So twice as good as far as I'm concerned. So that's great to see. Awesome.
Yeah, and just to confirm what Lise, sorry, yeah, and just to confirm what Lise says. So yeah, the title on that slide, slide 9, implies that it's just .com and self-managed, but Liz is right. It is including licensing as well. So we should pull that out. There's a link to the report there. So yeah, apologies for that.
No problem. I think it's actually good. Like, I would hate for you to show the satisfaction for some sectors and then not others. So if you're going to show an overall one, it should include every single ticket. So
just missing a piece on the title. Thanks for that.
Thanks. And another, by the way, I love the new slides. The metrics are super clear. I love slide 10. It's beautiful. I have one suggestion. It says total unique linked. Maybe we can think about naming that differently, like issues that have at least one link or more. That's still a very long thing to write. So like got milk, like has links or something like that. I'm anything, but I don't think total unique linked totally is understandable. But I love that it's included in the presentation. Thanks for that. It looks really good.
Yeah, we wanted to be clear that we were only counting a ticket once, no matter how many links it had in it. So yeah, but right, we think of a better way of
it's not clear that the unique refers to the tickets. Yeah. It might also refer to the links, and then it's the opposite of what you want. But yeah, cool. Jason?
Yeah, so I was just wondering how much of an uptick you're seeing in support requests regarding to Kubernetes, whether that's the GitLab runner in Kubernetes or the GitLab application itself inside of Kubernetes.
So I don't know specific numbers, but I can tell you we've been seeing a bit of an uptick in users starting to use the Helm charts. A lot of the issues we've been running into aren't necessarily Helm chart specific issues, just more of one of my users deleted a deployment, what do I do? Kind of deals of someone did something they shouldn't have and everything's not happy. So we have seen an uptick in what seems to be like users using the Helm chart, which I'm very excited to see. Support's getting a little better about managing those. It's not near as no one knows what's going on kind of deal, since Kubernetes is getting a little more established. We've been playing with it. We're working on docs and stuff like that. So I have seen a bit of an uptick. I'm not sure on the exact number, but it's going pretty well.
I'll chime in and add, the gut feeling is yes, it's getting more volume related to Kubernetes. I think one of the biggest challenges I've noticed in some of the tickets that I've taken a look at is sometimes when customers tell us they're using Kubernetes, they don't realize that they need to be specific about the many different ways that GitLab could be using a Kubernetes-based runner or deployed GitLab on Kubernetes. And we spend some of our time trying to figure out how they're, based on the logs or what they're sending us, what they're actually using GitLab and Kubernetes for. So we're trying to get better about that so that we can quicker diagnose the problems and better categorize them, Jason. So uptick, yes, and we're trying to figure out how to better segment the variations so that we can better answer that.
Yeah, that question in particular I've seen come across is, oh, I have a question about GitLab and Kubernetes. And we're like, okay, the runner or your project being deployed or GitLab in or GitLab in, runner out.
Yeah, so uptick for sure.
Yeah, there's definitely a little pulling of the teeth of, we want to use Kubernetes. Okay, how? They're like, no, we just want to use Kubernetes. I'm like, all right, but got to be a little more specific. So we are seeing a good number of that as well.
Jamie, I think you have next.
So I guess Jamie's question is about new Zendesk for BizOps. Is that right? Do you want to speak about that, Jason?
Sorry, I was on mute. Yeah, I'm just looking for new links for the new.
Yeah, so Lise just posted a bunch. I'll post the issue to the parent of do the migration, because I'm compiling links in there as well. There's Zendesk articles, so they're fun to read. But if for more specific, I found looking at the comments in said articles reveals a lot of information. Like I didn't know tickets were using case objects until I got about 50 comments in and saw somebody go, why is this using case objects? And I was like, oh, that's important to note. So yeah, Liz posted a bunch of links there, but I will also post the issue for the migration where I'm kind of compiling a bunch of those links as well of how to do this, or here's what the new thing does. I can tell you the big radical changes are like bulk sync is going away. Tickets will be case objects instead of case type objects instead of the current method that they're using. And it's literally dependent on the API of Zendesk and Salesforce. That's how they communicate. My understanding is change in Salesforce sends API to Zendesk and vice versa. As far as the specifics of what those API requests look like, I haven't had a chance to dig into exactly which APIs they're using. Both sides basically just say you need admin access, which is a scary level of access to give something we have no control over.
To clarify a little bit about what this is, what we're discussing, we connect Zendesk to Salesforce so that we can get a better view of customer data, both for us and so the sales team can get a better view of customer ticket data. Of course, there's probably an opportunity for an open source single application for the entire customer lifecycle, but we'll save that for Sid for another day. And that said, so Zendesk does a great job managing tickets and Salesforce does a great job managing everything to do with the customer account. And we had a legacy sync application that was terrible, and we're very excited about getting a much better way of synchronizing this information, because the more we can know about customers, the better, both ways.
But yeah, as far as Zendesk itself, it's not actually changing. It's just the Salesforce Zendesk integration that communicate back and forth to one another. So things like Markdown for customers and stuff like that is still not going to be a thing. I don't have any plans to integrate any new fields into it, but that is definitely something we can communicate since we're having to set this up. It's not like we can't integrate new fields. The current plan is basically to kind of copy what we have and then use the new integration, but there's no reason we can't like review what is being done right now and talk about adding new fields, subtracting fields, and all that fun stuff. So if you have any ideas on that, feel free to go into that parent issue and kind of add some comments and let me know so I can look into those as well.
Is that helpful, Jamie?
Super helpful, thank you.
Okay, thanks for your question. So nothing else in the doc. We have a couple of minutes in case anyone would like to ask anything else.
Happy Tuesday, everyone who's not in Australia, because it might be Wednesday. I don't know how time works.
Okay, thanks, Lee. Thanks, everyone, for joining. Look forward to seeing you all soon and on the company call.
Oh.
Peace.